She's not breathing. Hannah, call 911.
The real meaning of being a good teammate and being a leader is watching out for your teammates' health.
You know, as an athletic director, safety is the #1 priority for me, and making sure that my athletes are safe. Safe Sports definitely recognizes the needs of our athletes.
We're working to close the gaps that, like a safety net, under all of our athletes.
Closing the gaps means a lot more than just me coming here every day, making sure the athletes are okay. It's about having an emergency action plan ready for all of the sports teams in their venues in case an emergency comes about. That way you know exactly what to do at the time you are supposed to do it, and it's gonna save someone's life someday.
Drop the dummy drills are something that we've incorporated this year at all of our schools, and it's actually been really cool. We've always had our emergency action plans and we've always practiced them, but we haven't ever been so formal in practicing them. The way the drop the dummy drill works is I come to practice and I sort of come onto the field with the mannequin and I put it down somewhere, and then I sort of just go back to the sidelines and wait. And what happens is eventually one of the kids will see the mannequin on the field, call out to the rest of the team and say, hey, we have a player down, and then the emergency action plan just goes into action.
Hannah, Shelby's not breathing. Can you call 911? Olivia, can you get the first aid kit? And Cindy, get the AED. Olivia, please get the athletic trainer.
Anything can happen to any of my teammates at any moment, so it's really great that we were able to do this drill because I think everybody should be prepared.
We had athletes running for the phone, calling 911, knowing where they were, knowing what questions to answer for EMS. We had athletes running for the first aid kit and the AED and coming back, while we had other athletes assessing the mannequin and starting CPR.
I feel like I'm much better prepared if someone did get hurt on the field.
To have a team that is fully trained and aware of what to do if the scenario were to happen, it makes us all feel more secure and that we're in a safer environment.
We've done drop the dummy drills here at Bishop Brady High School, and I think it's been great for not only our student athletes but our coaches as well, to be able to practice our comprehensive emergency action plans.
Tommy's case is an example where everything came together.
Preseason started this year really hot, and we knew that it could be an issue. Kids coming into preseason, maybe not ready, maybe not acclimatized to the heat.
I noticed that I was slower than everyone else. I'm usually at the front of the line always, the first one to finish, but I wasn't that day. The team had a break and then a water break, and I slowly walked to the field, and I just remember trying to sit down but collapsing.
One of the athletes came over to Sam and said, hey, can you take a look at Tom? He just doesn't look right. He didn't look right in that last drill.
And I just remember him like slurring his words, and he couldn't really function that well.
I told my friend Zach to go get our athletic trainer, Sam, and he immediately without hesitation went to Sam, got her, told her that Tom is on the ground and he told me to get you, and he doesn't look good.
He said he was dizzy, he had a headache, he didn't feel good, and he was not orientated at all.
We had our trainer was also there, along with her staff, and along with along with us coaches. We actually took Tom, put him in a water bath to cool him down.
I have a tub on the field at all times during preseason, just in case if an athlete presents with heat stroke, I'm able to cool them down as quickly as possible.
We knew we didn't have much time. We felt that he was experiencing heat stroke, and you have a very little amount of time in order to get that core temperature down if this kid is going to survive.
Once we got Tom in the tub, our emergency action plan came into effect right away. I already had a coach who had 911 on the phone. I had 2 kids running to the gate to go flag the ambulance down when they got here to show them where Tom was, and the rest of the kids were on the field standing back and just taking a knee.
It was a hot day in August when I got the call that my son was on his way to the hospital, but I was an hour away at work. I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't get a hold of Tommy, so I was kind of panicked driving. And then I couldn't find a parking place, so that got the anxiety going even more. They did bring me right into his room, and I saw him. He was in a bed without a shirt on with an IV going. But then I saw his smile and I knew he was okay. He'd been taken care of.
The EMT said that it was good that we had the water bath. It could have saved Tom's life.
If we didn't have a trained staff, I feel as though Tom would have probably died or would have been seriously injured.
I believe that I could have died that day.
That day I saw the emergency action plan at Memorial High School go into action immediately. It was almost like people didn't even have to think.
They all knew what jobs they were given and who needed to do what at what time, and they all did that, and that's why we were able to help Tom.
This whole ordeal has really helped me realize that teamwork is not about winning. Teamwork is about being there for your friends.
It's nice to know that I helped save Tom. I know that I wasn't the only one, there were more people, but it feels nice knowing that I participated in help saving his life.
There's no doubt the kids are safer in this community when the whole community comes together to close those gaps.
I think what happened that day on the field proves that, the gaps are being closed, that, people know what to do in emergency situations and they're able to do them.
We had an emergency action plan at his school. We had the cooling tub there. We had kids who'd been through the Athletes Saving Athletes program. Their coaches had taken CPR and first aid, and people recognized that Tommy didn't look well. They told the athletic trainer. The athletic trainer took a look at Tommy, activated the emergency plan. That kid was in the tub within minutes. The ambulance came, took him to the hospital, and he had mild kidney damage instead of what could have been much worse.
I think kids in Manchester are definitely safer for having the training program there. I probably wouldn't have let Tommy play had they not had a trainer right there.
Having safe sports a part of our school community makes me feel so much more comfortable as an athletic director, knowing that I have someone that I can rely on, to care for our athletes. It's a great partnership. I couldn't ask for more dedicated, caring people to look after our athletes.
All of this happening to me has really made me appreciate the people that are there for me, the people that do care, and it helps me appreciate how great life is and how great life can be and how terrible life can be as well.
It's my hope that people watching this video will relate to a story that they've heard, that they knew a kid like Tommy, that they have heard about the terrible series of sudden deaths that we had over this past fall season, that something will resonate with them and they'll contribute to help close the gaps.